Hey guys, welcome back to Dragalia Lost, and today I'm going to be talking about Wyrmprints. Wyrmprints have recently been removed from the summoning pool, thank god for that. Side Games decided to put Wyrmprints in a shop located in Treasure Trade where players can purchase these prints by using Eldwater. Some Wyrmprints can even be farmed from certain modes in the game. So with those changes, a lot of players have been wondering, what are the best Wyrmprints to buy? I'll be answering that in this video. Keep in mind that on the topic of best Wyrmprint is going to be a little bit subjective, so with that said, I want you guys to hear my reasoning, read other people's comments under this video, combine those two together and make your own judgment. As for Wyrmprint drops, I won't be going over that, but here's a chart made by a Reddit user named Imaloon. All credit goes to him or her for making this. If you guys want to check out the image on your own, then you can find the link to the Reddit thread in the description below. By the way, I'm expecting the 5-star print drops to be really low, so I think it's still worth purchasing the prints even though they are farmable. Alright, so anyways, enough of that, let's finally get things started. Okay, so there's obviously a bunch of Wyrmprints in the shop. Each print has their own unique combination of effects, and some are better than others at doing specific things. Long-term goal, you want to purchase the prints specifically good on certain weapon types for min-maxing purposes. On the flip side, as a short-term goal, you should buy the prints that are universally good on most weapon types and characters, right? I think that makes a lot of sense. So let's go over the best universal prints in the shop first. My choice for best universal print is Resounding Rendition. This print, when max and bounded, gives skill damage 30% and critical rate 8%. My reasoning is pretty straightforward. These are two abilities that you want on most DPSers. Even if a character only has one damage skill damage may not be the best ability for them, but it's still decent. And then critical rate is something that every DPSer benefits from. I think this is hands down the best general DPS print in the shop that every player should purchase as their first one. Now the second print that you should buy should be the one that combos the best with Resounding Rendition. There's a few prints. The first is Levin's Champion. This is also a pretty good general print that is viable on all DPSers. Combine these two prints together and you'll get skill damage, maximum crit rate of 15% and 15% crit damage. This is the print combo that I would recommend you guys buy. Now, like I said earlier, you aren't going to hit criticals all the time. It's not consistent, but when you do, it's amazing, right? So if you guys are looking for a more consistent damage print alongside Resounding Rendition, then I would go for a pure strength ability print such as Crystalline Envoy. The Flame Res ability is whatever, what we want is the passive strength buff. You may not land criticals or hit as hard with criticals like you do with Levin's Champion, but the strength buff will give you a constant flow of increased damage. Before you guys decide to buy this print though, keep in mind that HP 70 equals 13% strength is on Astounding Trick, which was an event print that we got a while ago, so if you have that already, then don't bother with buying Crystalline Envoy. Also, apparently we're getting Bonds Between Worlds later in the Fae collab event, which has the same strength ability alongside 25% skill prep, so I would recommend just waiting for that to come out. Okay, so now I'm completely done talking about Resounding Rendition. That's the only print that I wanted to go a little bit in depth with because most would consider it as the best print in the shop. Now I'm just going to briefly go over the remaining prints that I think are worth buying. Here we have Valiant Crown. It has skill damage 30% and strength double buff plus 10%. Really good abilities, but strength double buff isn't great for all situations. It only works if your character can reliably get a shield on them either from a teammate or from a skill of their own. Jewels of the Sun is one of my favorites because I really like Heroes of Hinamoto, and Jewels of the Sun so happens to be one of the best prints to go alongside Heroes of Hinamoto. Together, you get skill damage, 14% skill haste, and 10% strength. I think it's one of the best print combos for wand characters. Stellar Show is a great print for anyone that has an innate 4-strike ability such as Xander and Albert. You probably want to combo it with something that grants crit rates such as Resounding Rendition or Levin's Champion. Now we're getting into weapon exclusive prints. There are 4 of them. My favorite is Kung Fu Masters. It's exclusively for axe characters. Max Unbounded Kung Fu Masters grants 14% crit rate, which is 1% away from the maximum amount, and 20% skill damage. Axe characters naturally have 4% crit rate, so they're getting 18% with this print alone. A 4-star print called Flower in the Fray is also a good secondary print to go alongside Kung Fu Masters. For sword users, there's the Shiny Overlord. It gives the max 40% skill damage in Dragon Claws, which increases strength up to 3 times per dragon transformation. If you play a lot of bow characters, then Forest Bonds is what you should consider buying. It grants a maximum of 40% skill damage and 12% skill haste from 4 strikes. Then Lance characters have Dragon and Tamer. I don't really particularly like this one because the secondary ability is just Shadow Res, but I won't sleep on it just yet. I think it could be a really good print on lance characters with 3 damage skills, and there might be a print in the future that combos with it really well. You may never know. Currently, I think it's a bit underwhelming. As for healers, I think Give Me Your Wounded is probably the best one in the shop right now. 13% recovery potency and defense 20% at full HP. Healers are almost always going to be toppled off in health, so that 20% defense will act as a nice cushion for them in case they get hit. So yeah, those are the 5-star prints in the shop that I think you guys should look into. Now there are some hidden 4-star and 3-star prints in the shop that I want to briefly go over as well. Flower in the Fray I mentioned earlier. This really is only a good print to buy to use alongside Kung Fu Masters. I don't really see any other use for it. King's Continents is one of 3 prints that have Shapeshift Prep. If you put this on each of your characters on your team, then you can start the match with 40% Dragon Gauge. Shapeshift Prep is going to be really important for speed running squad raid events. Together We Stand has Slayer Strength 5%. Not really a useful ability for most modes, but it's pretty useful for certain things like facility events where you have to clear multiple waves of enemies. Fresh Perspective is one of the best 4-star prints in the game. It comes with 4 strike damage and a little bit of skill damage. I would only consider using this print on sword users or on characters with innate 4 strike damage abilities such as Xander, Albert, and Vanessa. Now for 3-star prints, Bellathorna is the only one I would buy I think. It's the only print in the game with buff time and it's only useful on a select few characters. Anyone with a skill 1 buff or has multiple buffing skills can use it. Melody is one of the few characters that comes to mind. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? If not, then you can share your thoughts with the rest of us down in the comments below. That way we can all learn from each other. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.